2017, I co-founded Transit Now Tampa Bay with some other people in the Tampa Bay community that also want public transit here. And we started it as a discussion group, but also just a page on Facebook. It started as a Facebook social group, and now it has turned into an actual organization, and we're doing political advocacy to improve our bus service here.
The first thing I noticed when I moved to Tampa is that you had to have a car. Number one, it's hot, and there's nowhere to walk to get your daily needs met because everything seems to be very spread apart. So you have to have a car.
The bus was my lifeline, and that really shook that stigma. It broke it totally apart. I saw people on the bus, Harvard professors sitting next to construction workers, mothers with their children, people in wheelchairs, students. I saw all, manner of people, all parts of the spectrum of society on that bus, and it really made me understand that this is a lifeline, this is critical, I'm using it, it's something that gives value to me, and I see it gives value to so many other people, so I support making that more accessible to people in Tampa.
My passion for public transit did start because I had the privilege to leave Tampa and live in Portland, Oregon, so being able to move about freely across the city using public transit, not having to have a car, not having to rely on a car. If my car ever broke down, I could just take the bus to work. When I lived in Portland, my mental and physical health just naturally felt better. My stress levels were just lower because things were just kind of better taken care of. Societal services were better invested in out there.
So I do rely on public transit to get places out of necessity, not necessarily out of desire. I just don't feel like I'm a safe person behind the wheel, and not because I lack the ability to be, a productive member of society in other ways, but driving is just not a skill that I'm really great at, and I don't want to endanger other people's lives or myself by putting myself on the road. Or I have to rely on, a rideshare service like Lyft or Uber, which is expensive and adds up over time, or just the kindness of friends. Sometimes I make new friends on the spot and just kind of have to trust my gut, which has proven pretty good so far. I've survived pretty well with my own instincts about people, and at least the sense of who I think is going to get me from point A to point B safely. But it's vulnerable to have to rely on people like that.
And when I moved to the city, I was on the Route 1, and so that became my primary mode of transit because I left Tampa when I was 16 to go to college, and I moved to DC, and DC has really fantastic transportation, so I never needed to learn how to drive, so I'm not a car person. I think that the current public transportation system does have its definite areas of opportunity. I think that any lines that go east-west are severely underutilized or underinvested in, rather, because their frequency is not as frequent as I would like it to be. Having better sidewalks would be top-notch. And I know that's a complex thing because some streets are owned by the city, some are owned by the county, and some are owned by the state. Like, for instance, Florida Avenue, which is what the street used to be before it crossed under the highway. Florida Avenue is owned by the state, so the sidewalks have to be managed by the state, whereas something like Cass Street is owned by the city, but something like MLK is owned by the county, so it's all over the place. But sidewalks would make a real difference in the lives not just of me, but of our other citizens who are disabled. You can't get a wheelchair across these things. It's cracked everywhere. It's crazy.
I prefer to ride my bike. I used to ride every day. Now I pretty much never ride. I used to work closer and ride my bike there every day. It would take 20 minutes, but not too long ago my location shut down and I got transferred to another location. I had no say on where that would be, and the commute on bike is too dangerous. There's no street lights, no bike lane, no sidewalk. People ride, they speed 90 miles per hour on that road. So it's just not safe enough. Taking the bus in Florida is really hot and tiring, and it takes a long time, so I get really tired by the time I'm at my destination. And I just have to sit around places, get places really, really early just so I won't be late.
One of our big campaigns right now is to increase HART's dedicated funding source, which is currently a property tax millage. Right now, property owners only have to pay a $500,000, and that $500,000 is HART's pretty much entire funding source, and it's been $0.50 since 1979. So we need to increase that. At a minimum, we need to increase it to one full mill, which would double HART's budget, providing service to everybody. That's buses, that's possible rail, and other things that we can invest in. Paratransit for people with disabilities. So in order to increase the millage, our elected leaders at the county level have to actually put it on the ballot. So there's steps to it. Our elected leaders have to just give us a chance, give us the opportunity, and then the people also need to collectively see the value in public transit and vote for, investing in it. So.